Is the annual filing deadline for taxpayers across the country. The deadline is midnight tonight. It is the first tax day since President Trump signed historic tax cuts into law. But a new Wall Street Journal NBC News poll finds that the overhaul remains unpopular with Americans. 36% see the law as a bad idea, while 27% view it as a good idea. Even though the same poll found that Americans view the GOP as the party best able to handle taxes and the economy. As you see there, President Trump touted the benefits for next year's filers at an event in Florida just yesterday.
Remember this is the last time you're going to fill up that long, complicated, horrible return. Very importantly, next year it's going to be a simple, for the most part, one page. It may get a little bit bigger, but it'll be simple and easy to do. And very importantly, you're going to have a lot of money left over from what you have.
And the president wrote an op-ed today. It is in USA Today this morning. The president writes this, in part, tax rates are going down, businesses are investing in our great country, and most important, the American people are winning. Joining me now, the chairman of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, Kevin Hassett. Kevin, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning.
What do you got? The lawnmowers on behind you?
Yeah, they're leaf blowing over there.
Oh,
you know?
Okay.
It could be snow as cold as it is.
I'd rather hear the leaf blowers than the rain because winter will not go away. So spring is here. Kevin, let me ask you your thoughts on why this tax plan is not connecting with voters. What do you make of this poll where people are saying it's not a good idea?
You know, I saw that poll, but the thing of all the polling data that really stuck out at me is, you know, the Michigan Survey of Consumer Sentiment. That's a poll that's been going on for a really long time. And if you looked at independents in that survey, they're as optimistic right now as they've been ever in history, except for one other time, right after the Reagan tax cuts. And so what you're seeing is that consumers are really getting ready to spend because they're so much more optimistic about their future incomes. And that's the kind of stuff that really affects the economy. I find that when you hire some polling company to go out and say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? That generally you get a number that's useful to talk about, but doesn't help me do economic forecasting. The poll that does help me do economic forecasting is saying that they really love this tax plan.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned spending and the consumer because I want to get into that. Yesterday we got the retail sales number out, Kevin, and I wonder what your thoughts were on it. Yes, it was better than expected. 0.6%, very good. But, you know, we were talking on the panel, Stephanie Pomboy, one of our favorite economists and regulars on this program, said this number should be much higher. The consumer, she says, when you look at the last couple of months, is clearly saving or putting money down to pay down debt, but they are not spending the way they would be or should be at this point in the cycle, given how long this recovery is on.
Right. Well, I think we have to be careful not to read too much into one quarter because what we're seeing is that there's a massive, as you would agree, capital spending boom, unlike anything that we've really seen since the 90s underway. The Morgan Stanley Capital Spending Index is the highest it's ever been in history. And so firms are buying machines like crazy. Wages are growing faster than they've grown in 8 years. We've got more than 500 companies that have given big pay increases. And, you know, consumption is looking like it's going to contribute maybe about 1% to GDP in the first quarter, which is about half what you would expect normally. So it looks like the first quarter consumption number will be, I think your panelists are right, a little bit lower than we expect it to be throughout the rest of the year. But we're still highly confident that you're going to see 3% growth this year because the capital spending's there and the consumer's taking a pause after a great Christmas, but it'll be back in the second quarter.
Do you think consumers or these people who are voting in the poll about the tax plan, do you think they're worried about debt, Kevin? I mean, let's talk about this budget bill. The president has expressed frustration with the spending increases in that $1.3 trillion omnibus bill. Just last week, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell opened the door to voting on a bill that would cut federal spending and a constitutional amendment requiring a balanced budget. So does the White House support those efforts? Where does this stand? Will we see a rescindance of that omnibus?
Yeah, absolutely. The people in the White House are serious about looking at that and looking at smart cuts that can be made using that process. But I think that if we look back, as you know, you covered it, that the CBO came out with a new report a week ago. And I really would like to emphasize for viewers the news in that CBO report, because if you look at their forecast for GDP growth this year, next year, and the next 10 years, and compare it to what they said last year before they saw the effect of any Trump policies, they added $6 trillion to GDP over the next 10 years. $6 trillion. And so, sure, the deficit has gone up while we've moved out and ahead of some of our problems, but we've got $6 trillion more GDP to deal with to try to go after those problems of the future. And I think that all the negative news that surrounded the CBO report last week missed the headline, which was that they're now conceding that Trump policies are giving you the economy that President Trump promised.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt things have gotten better. I'm with you on that. But, you say $6 trillion, okay, so more revenue, but you're also facing higher interest rates. So the cost of our debt will be more expensive. And people are worried that the cost of the debt eventually will overtake, for example, the money we spend on defense.
Right, yes, and in the fullness of time, that will happen unless Congress acts. And for sure, the president was dissatisfied with the amount of spending that we saw this year, has vowed to us, I've seen him say it, that we're going to take a much tougher line next time. And
Why didn't he take a tougher line this time, Kevin?
You'd have, I'm not a congressional negotiator, but I can tell you that what I do is estimate the effects of deficits on growth. And we are getting up into an area where if we go another 5-10 years without taking action, then we're going to see a negative effect because debt to GDP is so high. But
you're not expecting a negative effect over the near term?
No, not at all. In fact, again, what's happening right now is we're coming from an economy that everybody said was going to grow in the ones because we had all these broken policies. And then we fixed a bunch of the policies, especially regulation and taxes. And so we should get a big surge over the next few years, 2 or 3 years, as the capital spending comes home and the wage growth skyrockets and all that kind of stuff. And so right now, I think the positive effects of jumping from a bad equilibrium to a good equilibrium are going to be the dominant theme of the economy over the next few years. And then I think that, in that time, as we reach a point where we've just had good year after good year, threes instead of ones, then I think it'll be natural for politicians to turn to the long run problems.
All right, we'll be watching that. Threes are better than ones, that's for sure. Kevin, good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Maria.
Kevin Hassett joining us at the White House.